All right, let's talk about relationships for a few videos here. Let me begin by sharing with you something that President Nelson is telling our youth this very summer at FSY. Now, it's a closely guarded video, otherwise I'd show it to you, but they want to keep it so that the first time students run into it is when they're at actually FSY. But one of the things that President Nelson, and he said this in other occasions, you can find it in his talk about Gathering Israel that he gave to the youth before the pandemic, but he said, to use a sports analogy, this is the second half of the ninth inning. These are the days that we live in. And he talked about how God has specifically reserved this generation to come forth to be a part of the gathering of Israel in preparation for the Savior's second coming. Our prophet believes in these youth. And one of the things he invited them to do in that FSY video is to pray so they could get a testimony that what he said about them is true. And as I was watching that video, I thought, I need to pray to get a testimony that what he said about them is true. For you and for me, it's vital that we share the prophetic vision of who our young people are. And so I invite you this summer to pray with all the energy of your heart, not just that you may be filled with love for your students, but that you may be filled with the prophetic vision of who these students are. Because the reality is you're going to see them at 6 in the morning or 5 in the morning or whenever you teach them. And you might not always see them at their best because, they're teenagers and you're going to see a lot of teenagerness in them. This is an interesting time in human development as brains are developing and things are being tried, and including rebellion and agency and choices. And you might be tempted to just see behavior, but our prophet is inviting us to see more than behavior. And it's possible that some of the things we see as problems may be just the gifts God has given those young people to do a work that is yet to be fulfilled in these last days. And so, my first invitation to you is to pray for that prophetic vision.